What up? It's your boy T-Bear Reaction. Today's Films Friday. Now I'm about to get to the main course of the main event of Films Friday. That is the Dead Meat Kill Count. And this week is VHS week. As we are checking out VHS 94. Now, from what I heard, this were brought back VHS to a good standard at the viral was a piece of shit. And I witnessed how much of a piece of shit it was by watching it through Dead Meat. And if I watched it, because I watched the first video of Count of Dead, and speaking of Count of Dead, I realized that channel got shut down because I was looking at some original video from it, I think, and I saw it was gone. So yeah, RIP to the Count of Dead channel. But anyway, we're going to check out VHS 94 Kill Count. So, without further ado, let's get it.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies and show you how they were made. I'm James A. Janice.
I'm Chelsea Rebecca.
And I'm Zoran. You can have pizza anytime.
Videos.
The Voyage.
And today we're looking at VHS 94, released in 2021. After the critical failure of VHS Viral, hopes for a sequel seemed slim. But 7 years later, producer Brad Miska decided to reboot the franchise.
I just remember a long time ago Simon saying, like, maybe it's too soon to do VHS 3. And he was maybe right.
He turned to David Bruckner, the man behind Amateur Night, who had the idea to set this fourth installment in 1994. He liked how that era's technology made everything look crappy.
You could film, the most beautiful person or thing in the world on VHS and it would look ugly.
Bruckner was unable to contribute a segment, though, since he was pulled away to direct the Hellraiser reboot. VHS 94...
Shit. I forgot to watch that shit, too.
Follows a SWAT team who invades the compound of a VHS worshipping cult. They're meant to be the same group behind the tapes in the first two movies' wraparounds. 94 is a return to form for the series, taking it back to the scrappy grunge aesthetic of the first film. Although Shudder wouldn't let them shoot directly on VHS, they did allow them to shoot in the cheaper looking 29 frames per second.
Which, either means like you're broke or you found a camera at like a pawn shop from like 1993.
94 also returns a focus.
In case you're wondering why they probably doing this is around, we were like literally still during the pandemic era as well too. That's why we do a lot of video calls, panels and stuff.
To practical effects, especially when it comes to its monsters. While the other VHSs had cool creatures, like Lily, 94 puts them front and center. It's a rogues gallery of monsters, and a litany of cool kills. How many we talking? Let's find out. Good afternoon, and welcome to DMP News. In a breaking report, the serial killer known as the Baker has been tracked to a local mall. Zoran Gavoyich is on the scene.
That's right, James. I am here at a local mall where the Baker has been cornered, and the entire place is in a full lockdown. Police are not allowing anyone in or out. But more importantly, I want to add that you are coming in silky and crystal clear right now.
That's thanks to today's sponsor, Raycon, and their updated everyday earbuds, which add active noise cancellation and multi-point connectivity to their already great sound quality, which rivals some of the biggest names in premium audio.
And you're a big personal fan of Raycon, aren't you, James?
They're my daily go-to, Zoran. I use them while I'm working, working out, or hardly working. And thankfully, they cover all of that with 32 hours of battery life in the case, plus a wireless quick charge that gives you 90 minutes of battery off of one 10-minute charge. You can even use the wireless charging through their new protective covers.
Well, that's just delightful, James. But what's less delightful is that it appears the Baker has escaped through a jewelry store back door and is actually making his way to us right now. Okay,
Well, I guess every kill also begins with K. And in other news, you can go to buyraycon.com/deadmeat to get 20 to 50% off. That's right, you can get up to 50% off when you use buyraycon.com/deadmeat.
Lord.
1994 saw the end of Nirvana, the release of Pulp Fiction, and the Republican Revolution. How many kills did it have? Let's find out and get to them. The movie begins with a production card, and then another, and then another. And would you motherfuckers believe me if it's 7? There are 7 of them. I joke, but I do love to see people pitching together to make a movie. An eyeless lady in white is tripping balls and counting down.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Happy New Year! old year, because it's 1994. This tape is video evidence for a drug bust being done by an amped-up SWAT team. It includes hot-headed Officer Slater and his combative co-worker Petro. There are also a bunch of people with real dumb names, like Sprayberry, Spivey, and Orsler. We're nearing Jason X territory with these. Cameraman Gary is documenting everything according to the officer's rules.
29.9 means erase the fucking tape.
Sorry, bud, but that ain't happening in this franchise. People telling on themselves all over the place. Dumbass Dante. Gary follows the team as they raid this warehouse of horrors. There's all sorts of shit here. Check it out.
All are welcome.
Oh, holy shit, a talking plane! The creepy, gloopy voice over the loudspeaker talks about a signal, calling it salvation and all that shit. Ain't much salvation for the eyeless corpse they find, who will never watch another VHS again. Huh, looks like that guy's name was Tom and he worked at a video store. Was he one of ours? Did we hire a Tom? The team ventures further into the compound and stumbles upon an IKEA living room display. It features a pillar of TVs and 6 more bodies, all of whom are victims of having too much screen time. As the team makes a plan, Gary zooms in on a TV screen to learn about something called the net.
Millions of Americans have personal computers and can access the net for a modest monthly fee.
I think I'll stick to my telephone for now.
Yeah, and then those get the net, and then you won't be able to unstick yourself from them. Oh, speaking of which, Zorn, put that away, man. You got the first segment.
1 second, I'm doing something here.
It's the Ratmo one.
Oh! My kid can pick himself up from daycare. Let's go! The first segment is Storm Drain, which takes the form of a local news broadcast. The citizens of Westerville, Ohio have been catching glimpses of a sewer-dwelling creature dubbed the Rat Man. What's he look like?
This amateur sketch.
And that is a great reference to the early viral video about the Mobile, Alabama leprechaun.
Oh, that's what you got there.
Sketch.
Who else saw the Rat Man say yeah?
Yeah.
Storm Drain was written and directed by Chloe Akuno, who made her feature film debut the following year with Watcher, starring Micah Monroe. This segment is an excellent recreation of local news. Even though it's edited, the style and tone fit the franchise aesthetic much better than the slick documentary style of Dante the Great. Akuno took a lot of inspiration from Wreck, another found footage movie that followed a reporter. She was also influenced by the documentary Dark Days about people who live in the New York subway system. Field reporter Holly Marciano is on the scene, interviewing townsfolk who range from burnouts to Bible thumpers.
Well, I believe it's a sign from Jesus. It's time for sinners and elitists to get what's coming to them.
Oh, and Camo Santa, who's, oh, yeah, you don't want to be on his naughty list. Holly works with her coverage-concerned cameraman, Jeff.
So do you want more B-roll of the forest?
No, you're right. We need to branch out. Wouldn't want this film to get too sappy. Oh, come on. Don't tell me you're sick of more puns. It's good to be back. Their Channel 6 news producer wants more in-depth footage, forcing them to venture into the titular storm drain. Ugh, so typical of Channel 6 news. Always wanting stories about things living in sewers. Holly, heads into the tunnel and finds evidence of a sewer slumber party.
Do any kids live down here?
Living? No. Dying? Yes. Maybe thanks to that,
Fucking clown.
Yeah, that guy gets it. Holly becomes inspired to do a story about people living in the sewer system. Like you do. And while it does seem she has some genuine concern for them, also there are some fringe benefits.
Don't you want to do something that will make a difference, Jeff? That will, like, I don't know, help people?
Help you get your Pulitzer, right?
Well, I guess that haircut isn't the only thing Holly has in common with Gale Weathers. Also, shout out to Anna Hopkins, who does a great job in this role. The news report turns into a horror short real fast as they walk deeper and deeper into the sewer. Oh, must be near Pleasant Piazza based on all the spray emotes. Peely's missing! No! They filmed a lot of this segment in a real storm drain in Toronto, making it as scary to shoot as it is to watch.
We were in a real storm drain, and I always had to be the first person, like, because the camera was behind me, so I had to walk into the storm, and I was like, I don't want to do this.
Akuno wanted to recreate the claustrophobic horror of The Descent, a movie that still haunts me to this day. Oh, I don't want to think about it. And felt a real storm drain was a good way to do it.
I wouldn't go back in, but it was cool.
Eventually, Holly spots something.
Someone's here.
You think? Because that is clearly a scary night man. Oh! As Jeff is getting more B-roll of this bedroll, he's jump scared by the squishiest eye I have ever heard. I mean, man, there is such thing as too much Visine. The eye belongs to Bill, a dirty duckling of a man in need of some Dawn soap. Holly tries to get an interview, but he's pretty taciturn. So it turns out this oily boy is leaking more fluid than information. Are you sure your name's not Bosco? Bill. Okay, just check it. Just check. Things are finally creepy enough for Holly to call it quits, but not without leaving her business card. Ooh, that's nice. What is that, bone? Suddenly, she's kidnapped by an off-screen Holly Hunter, and Jeff's not far behind, thanks to a jump scare jump cut. Holly wakes up later, handcuffed with, what, plastic bags? Oh, come on, you could tear right through those. See?
Nope.
1 second. She tries and fails to reason with the Mudmen, saying she can help them.
Actually doing a story on you.
Her offer is mocked by this motley crew's leader, that Hellfire priest from earlier. And he's played by Brian Paul, who was one of Lynn Denlin's fellow surgeons in Saw 3. Holly sees that Jeff is also being held hostage, when the more or less Morlocks bring him to a deep dark tunnel that holds the main event. It's the Rat Man, skippity-dee-dee. Yo, holy fuck, that thing's creepy. Oh, it's like a loaf of bread fucked a Calvin and Hobbes drawing. Or like a Xenomorph's love child with that Jack in the Box from Krampus. Or just like a really good creature design, man. I love it.
He about to get the mini miss treatment. Shut up, Zori!
This non-ginger rat king actually goes by Ratma and rules over his underground ratocracy. He was designed by artist Keith Thompson, who also designed creatures in The Ritual and No One Gets Out Alive. The monster was brought to life by effects artist Patrick McGee, who only had 2 weeks to build the mechanical head and the bodysuit torso. And that head could do all kinds of things, like move its jaw, drip drool, and waggle its tongue. Also, the bodysuit had a bunch of nipples. His work was worn and performed by creature actor Thiago dos Santos, who we've seen on the channel as the leper in It Chapter 2. The crew liked his work just as much as I do. I love you, Ratma! Go, Ratma. Turns out that Prometheus-y looking black goo we've seen everywhere belongs to Dear Rat Boy. And the pastor uses his Ratat Drooly to baptize Jeff as a test of faith. But the spittoon secretion burns off his face instead. Ooh, yes, he was no dragon. Next up is Holly Marciano versus Jersey Joe Walrat. She gets up close and personal with this Willard wet dream, showing off more of this incredible costume. I just want to... No, whoever's controlling the camera needs to just chill out. It's gonna be less stable when you're zoomed in like that. Right. Didn't you spend too much money on film school like me? Holly gets her symbiote saliva shower straight from the source. And lucky for her, it doesn't seem to be lethal, but I can't imagine that's good for her pores. The tape blue screens into an infomercial.
The Veggie Masher turns your ordinary drab vegetables into a tasty, mouth-watering paste in mere seconds.
This bizarre interlude was directed and edited by Steven Kostansky, the man behind The Void, The Little Shit Returns, and Psycho Gorman. Recently he did
The Little Shit Return. Yo, Zora, best for that.
Did effects for In a Violent Nature, but this infomercial here is strangely straightforward. I mean, there's no yoga girls or hunky boys or nothing. Frig off. We flash forward to a news report about a sewer rescue. Oh dear God, how long has baby Jessica been down there? Oh, no, it's Holly. She's cleaned up since then and is now an anchor woman.
Ohio State plays the Indiana Hoosiers tomorrow night. Good luck to our Buckeyes.
What the fuck did I just hear?
Nothing. Can I please finish my segment?
I forgot. I forgot. It's something about them and the Buckeyes.
Holly seems to be having a little trouble reading the teleprompter.
People are already lining up to Ratma the Hayride's Apple Ratma, and of course, to see who will be crowned the festival's largest Ratma.
Well, at least you didn't tell San Diego to go fuck itself. But I will say, goo was a bad choice, since she projectile vomits it onto her coworker, and it, causes his face to look like it fell in the cheese dip back in 1957. Just, and his eyeballs. This is great. Just no notes.
Yeah.
Patrick McGee also did this crazy effect.
I remember that from that. So hold on. Oh shit. I want to low-key see the face. VHS. Jesus.
And I don't have much to say about it specifically, but I do want to share this behind-the-scenes footage. The segment then ends with Holly bidding the viewers good night and good luck.
I'm Holly Marciano, Channel 6 News. Hail Ratma.
Okay, you can have it back.
Yes!
Have fun with the wraparound.
In the spooky VHS compound of doom, Petro leads Spivey and another officer named Nash down to the lower levels. They discover a makeshift church filled with bodies in the pews. But these ain't kills to count, they're kill count props. This kind of shit overflowing from my closet. Looks like the Church of Saturday Sales. This wraparound, titled Holy Hell, was written and directed by Jennifer Reeder. She was excited to create a more traditional horror story than her usual, more experimental fare. She wrote the segment around their prop warehouse location, which already had these church pews, that airplane, and a bunch of lazy Boys. When it came to the VHS cult, she was inspired by David Cronenberg's Videodrome and the danger of underground cult videos. Pipe organ music plays us into the next tape, The Empty Wake. It takes place at the Jensen Funeral Home, where a wake is being held for Andrew Edwards. His family has requested the service be filmed, hence the cameras everywhere. Great coverage, too. We've got 2 stationary angles on sticks and a 3rd camera that's handheld. I love the funeral home setting. They've always creeped me out, and Haunting at Hill House didn't help with that shit. This is a big night for new employee Haley, who's gonna be running the show on her own. Before they leave, her bosses gossip about their closed casket client. Edwards was in a nasty accident that left quite the stitch job for mortician Tim.
I was more or less able to get him back into his original shape. Pity about his face and head.
Haley waits for the wake to begin, but no one shows up. The only thing coming is a storm outside, which ends up knocking out the power. Oh, fuck that, man. Haley grabs some emergency candelabras, and when the lights come back on their own, the casket ain't where she left it. She gives it a knock-knock, and the coffin asks who's there. She calls her bosses, who are together for some reason. They live together? Wait, were those guys boyfriends? Anyway, I love how we can only hear them over the phone when she's right up next to the camera.
Maybe they got caught in the storm, or maybe nobody liked the guy and the family just ain't good to chill out there.
That kind of verisimilitude goes a long way. Take note, Dante the Great. Her bosses assure her that Edwards is definitely dead and blame the noise on gas escaping his body. The Empty Wake was written and directed by VHS veteran Simon Barrett, who wrote segments and the wraparounds for the first 2 movies and directed the second film's wraparound himself. He was hesitant to return to the genre.
I hate shooting found footage, and I really hope to never do it again.
He was won over by the theme of setting all the shorts in the same year, and because he'd get to do a segment instead of the wraparound again. For Empty Wake, he wanted the cameras to start off stationary and become more dynamic by the end. Due to COVID restrictions, they actually shot in the Holiday Inn where the cast and crew were staying in quarantine. Production designer Josiah McKenzie built 3
I know filming during the COVID area was tough.
fake walls against the side of an existing room. They had lighting effects outside their fake windows to simulate a raging storm. Haley grows curious about Edwards and his accident, but because it's 1994, she has to use a landline phone to call a friend and ask her to look up the accident in a newspaper. She even has to hang up and have her friend call back later. That's how long it took to Google something back then. She hears more knocking, but not from the coffin this time. It's the one and only arrival at this wake.
Are you family? Or...
He's actually been here a while, appearing briefly during the blackout earlier. The man says a few words in Hungarian and leaves just as abruptly as he showed up. Alone again, Haley's friend calls back and tells her the accident was actually front page news. Another blackout cuts the call short, and in the darkness, Edwards starts to get restless in peace. Haley tries to leave, but the doors have been chained shut, maybe by that Hungarian guy? As a tornado siren starts blaring, Haley finds that very expensive coffin knocked to the ground. Bad Edwards! Yeah, you stand there in timeout. She tries to talk to him, but the guy's only half the head he used to be. And Tim did not do a good job embalming him. I mean, come on, his guts are still in there. Oh, wait, no, there they go. I absolutely love this effect. It looks so good. Contortionist Devin Chin-Cheong wore a fake half head that they removed in post. Then effects artist Chris Bridges made a slice of brain and filmed it at every angle, so they could digitally add it regardless of the shot. Damn fine work. Since Edwards is lacking eyeballs, Haley's able to distract the organ dropper with organ music. I can't help but wonder why she's still recording though. I mean, that question is almost always present in found footage media, but come on, Haley, put the camera down. She gets spotted by Edwards' half a head, which guides his body to attack her right as the tornado rips through the funeral home. To achieve this moment, they fire 2 air cannons loaded with a mixture of dust, fake glass, cork, and balsa wood. When the camera comes to, Edwards has been crushed beneath the rubble, and I'll count it. He was undead, and now he's dead again, Buck Cherry style. He's joined on the count by Haley, who's got a zombie walk going on. Looks like she's been turned into one of the undead too. She escapes out a broken window as the camera runs out of tape. Back in the wraparound, Petro Squad is joined by Slater, who's lost contact with the rest of their team. They head upstairs, where they find stuffed animals, severed arms, and a sudden love for monster truck rallies.
We don't need more tech, we need a grave digger!
Between the bathroom mannequins and upside-down crosses, Slater decides it's time to evac the Not Scary Farm testing factory. Doesn't help that that creepy lady's voice is still playing over the PA.
Track my signal.
Track my signal. She says that the signal is the stimulant, and that forever starts right now. But she's wrong. Forever's not starting right now. The next segment is. So get in here, Zoran.
I get to do 2 segments?
All right.
I'm honored.
Yeah, well, we were gonna have Molly do it, but she partied too hard last night.
Stupid alcoholic dog.
Hey.
The next segment, the subject,
Hey.
is a dude who's been turned into a Toy Story spider.
What the hell?
He freaks out and bursts into flames. Another unsuccessful experiment.
Gaga, gaga.
kagagalan. 2 months later, Frankenfreaky creator Dr. James Sinedra finally gets a better mic.
Keberhasilan agaknya sudah di depan mata.
The Indonesian scientist is making human-machine hybrids, or as he calls them, neo-humans. Whoa. And that kind of work ain't exactly above board, which is why he's operating out of this basement laboratory. He's kidnapped 2 more patients for his experiments, a male and a female, whom he calls subjects 98 and 99. I kind of ran out of ideas there. He begins his operation on Charles Xavier's sister, and when the tape starts back up, it's from the perspective of 99.
Happy born day to you. Happy born day to you. You look like a monster, and your arm is gone too. Oh, shit.
Through her eyes, we witness Dr. James making sure his
bone saw's ready.
In order to chop off this subject's limbs with abandon. No kill graphic yet, though, since as of now, he's still alive! Somehow, the TV starts playing, and it happens to be a news report about 99's kidnapping. Yes, but about the TV turning on. Just nothing there? We're gonna ignore that? Cool. Cool. Right. Dr. James wants to give her a drill bit lobotomy, but she fights back, so he decides to put her down for good. He's interrupted by the arrival of the cast of The Raid. Ooh, and look, they come with their own cameraman.
Pastikan kamu merekam semuanya.
Sweet, second angle, and one that's not of dubious ethical origin. Their leader, Captain Hassan, confirms James's identity, but he's not there to take prisoners. Instead, the officers execute him on the spot in an act of street justice. It leaves cameraman Jono pretty comedically shaken. What? The cops split up to look for survivors, and Jono discovers our POV tagonist, who we only know as S.A. Thank you, self-turning on news report. Jono recognizes her as the missing girl, but she's so messed up that Captain Hassan says she ain't got no soul. She looks super bad. So he decides to put her out of her misery.
Saya tidak akan bawa benda ini ke hadapan orang tuanya.
A convenient blackout gives Subject 99 a chance to adorably crab walk away. When the cops try to leave the way they came, they set off an explosive booby trap that blows 2 officers to smithereens. And yeah, I guess this guy's technically still moving, but I'm gonna assume he's not making it out of there. A recording starts playing, revealing they've triggered Dr. James's contingency plan.
Kalian tidak akan pernah meninggalkan tempat ini hidup-hidup.
Oh God, is this a Saw thing? Is he sawing these guys? Well, I guess kind of, as Subject 98, the male one, comes back to life. He then skewers a man him an echo of his former self. Jono QuickTime dodges his next attack, but 98 makes short work of 2 more cops. Django fetting one while Dookuing the other. Hassan comes to Jono's rescue as 98 gets his blades into another officer and saws his head off. Oh, I knew this was a saw. Oh, and then he throws it at the camera.
Oh, Lord.
Raw, sick edit point. With their bullets ineffective, Captain Hassan decides to frag out, adding to the video game feel of this whole segment. I mean, seriously, this shot right here, yeah, just feels like I'm fighting a cyber demon in Doom. We switch back to S.A.'s POV as she wakes up in the rubble and sees heads and bodies everywhere. That, hey, we've already counted. I see you comments. There is, however, a fresh and foggy kill happening in the smoke over there. So I'll count that guy getting dragged away. 99 manages to escape her nemesis-like stalker, but she gets caught in a paper cutout crossfire between 98 and the cops. And hey, she's got legs, and she knows how to use them to escape, as 98 kills the officers with off-screen sound design. The subject was written and directed by franchise returnee Timo Chayanto, who co-directed the excellent Safe Haven from VHS 2. Chayanto was excited to return to the indie filmmaking style of the VHS movies, and he set out to make a simple story in, and I quote, berserk bloodlust mode.
Nothing deep, nothing profound, just urge to go mayhem before I grow too old and too comfortable.
Right. I can't wait for my midlife berserk bloodlust crisis. Watch out. S.A. finds herself in Dr. James's study, which has the blueprints for a BFG, a save typewriter, and Alfred E. Newman? No, wait, that's just the top of her head. And she verifies it by looking in the mirror. She doesn't like it. Oh, side note. How the hell did this guy recognize her earlier? I guess he's just really good at picking out a chin in a lineup? Look out Bruce Campbell. Further inside, 99 discovers a friendly head with a cyborg Spidey eye patch.
Hello.
as well as 3 failed test subjects, which include a Sheborg who belongs in a morgue, a henchman of the Tall Man, and this bloody Saw 4 poster head. And there's one Ripley clone in the back who still has some life in her, so SA mercy kills her by pulling the plug. Oh, so it's okay when she does it, but not when the commander suggests it. She's attacked by one of the officers, but Agent 99 gets smart and grabs a machine gun arm. Barrett Wallace, eat your heart out. She uses her proto-mega buster to shoot one guy with a super delayed reaction from himself and the blood squids. Then she shoots through another officer's head until it's a spurty mess. Oh yeah, we're in full video game mode now.
Oh, speaking of which, starting in December, Zoran will be doing video game kill counts on the first Friday of every month.
Yeah, and I'm starting with Resident Evil.
We hadn't announced that yet. Exclusive.
SA says, dead or alive, you're coming with me to her human shield that helps her shoot 3 more officers who arrive. Then she throws the body at a 4th guy and makes him do a little dance, make a little blood, and get down on the kill count tonight. 2 more cops show up, but they've got a 99 problem because this bitch is one. Badass. When she uses her new arm to launch a grenade into one of these guy's pockets, blowing up both her attackers. Another officer brings a knife to this gun show, so she tells him to pipe down. 99 runs into Jono, who refuses to hurt such a lovely chin. Turns out the two have a lot in common. They agree to escape together, but Mad Dog Hassan has other plans. He's hell-bent on avenging his men and goes absolutely feral on SA. Or actually, maybe he's just really bad at CPR? Nope, he's ripping out her wiring and totally just voiding her warranty. Hassan's harassment is halted finally when Jono shoots his boss through the back, saving Subject 99. He goes to help SA, but gets tackled by Subject 98. When SA comes to, Jono's getting dismembered by this cyber Jar Jar Binks. So she beats at 98, eventually cracking his head open to feast on the goo inside. Or just kind of toss it away. Yeah, sure, that works. 99 collapses next to Jono, her battery depleted. Can someone get this woman a lightning cable? USB-C? I don't know what her operating system is. Jono sadly dies from his injuries at the same time as her battery. Oh man, I just hope they find a good pick for his funeral. 99 won't be going on the count, however, since a security feed shows her waking up and advancing to the next level.
Player 2 has left the game.
The wraparound returns with a kill graphic, since cameraman Gary is dying on the ground. Petro and Nash watch it impassively. It seems like they might not exactly be on the up and up.
Forever starts right now.
They start calling out to the rest of the team.
Arsler!
But none of them can be Arsler to answer. And while walking past some TVs, he becomes entranced and falls to his knees? I mean, imagine getting so entranced by a TV.
There we go. All right, Chelsea.
All right, my turn now. The final segment, Terror, begins with a blaring alarm. We're at a makeshift military base outside of Detroit, Michigan, but these D-bags aren't D-Town's finest. This is a propaganda video for the First Patriots Movement Militia, a group of gun-toting white supremacists. It all feels like a Chaos Realm version of the Red Green Show. They're led by their self-described Herr Commandant Greg. Damn, Gus from Recess took a hard right turn after graduation.
We will take back America.
And remember, if the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Greg, you can't just shoot into the air. What kind of example are you setting as a— Okay, now look what you've done. Michigan is weird like this. If you run into a guy in the woods with a gun and flannel, flip a coin. He either practices subsistence hunting and loves his labor union, or he's a guy who knows way too much about Viking runes and is just asking questions no one else wants to ask. This short is possibly my favorite VHS segment, period. Does it help that it's set in Michigan? Yes. But I also think it feels the most like an actual videotape. I've been ingesting a bunch of old family tapes from the 90s, and the magnetic bleed and haze is spot on. In an attic in their barn, they have a holy—
I will say the grading look for this movie's been pretty top notch. I will say that.
Homemade crosses and garlic, making this a strong contender for stankiest VHS location, at least until we get to Ozzy's dungeon. They're holding an unnamed prisoner whom they refer to as the Beast. They blow his brains out with a shotgun, but he doesn't get a kill graphic. This execution is a daily occurrence that's used to keep him in check. Well, at least they have a hobby. See, the Beast might not look it, but he's actually a vampire. And he technically sparkles in sunlight. If you count one giant sparkle, that's the temperature of the sun. To test this effect, they collect some of his blood and inject it into a bunny. When it touches daylight, it goes off like a killer rabbit holy hand grenade hybrid. This is like if J. Robert Oppenheimer was played by your uncle uncle you had to block on Facebook. The first Patriots plan on using this reaction to attack the McNamara Federal Building in downtown Detroit.
We detonate the abomination.
That building, the real one, not whatever Toronto structure they filmed here, was actually the site of a real-life incident right after 9/11, when a federal officer was killed in the lobby by a guy who was mad he couldn't take his gun inside. This fictional attack is the first step in a plan to overthrow William Jefferson Blythe III's regime, and they don't care about potential collateral.
They got a daycare. They got a daycare. Oh. Okay.
This movie came out in 2021 and was obviously influenced by the political landscape of 2020. In fact, January 6th happened during the segment's pre-production. Writer-director Ryan Prowse was specifically inspired by the 2020 plot to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. But this kind of thing is also accurate to the time period. The early to mid-90s saw violent conflicts involving federal forces like Ruby Ridge and the Waco siege. Those two raids did not go great and inspired anger with the feds, culminating in 1995 with the Oklahoma City bombing. That seems to be terror's biggest inspiration, particularly the detail about the daycare center. All of this actually impacted my life directly. My mom did clerical work in the McNamara building in the early 90s, but went back to school to pursue another line of work, partially because of threats like these. These guys could have blown me up with vampire blood. To arm their holy warriors, Greg calls in reinforcements, none other than Officer Slater from the Wraparound.
Lots of cops ready for you, Patriots, to take the feds down. Hard.
I feel like Greg secretly yearns for the stage because he gives another speech, this time about their divine call to action.
This man heard Wu-Tan's clarion call to action, and he did his part.
Wu-Tan is another name for
I ain't gonna lie, I thought you said Wu-Tang Clan.
Odin, Norse god and ruler of Asgard, occasionally played by a bored Anthony Hopkins. You can see Odin's rune reversed on the militia's insignia. The two branching paths of a Norse god. Be appropriated by white supremacists, or join Fire Emblem heroes as a waifu with gigantic honkers. That night, Greg decrees they celebrate the coming battle with righteous cleansing.
We will get cork high and bottle deep.
What?
Okay.
We're gonna get fucking wasted.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Our Patriots get absolutely slizzard with whatever mix of rubbing alcohol and fruit juice is in that jar.
Never rest, only peak. Never rest, only peak.
Weird chant. We'll workshop it later. Also, I was gonna joke that all of this is what happens when you don't have internet, but Prowse's depiction of white power groups was partially inspired by the documentary Skinheads USA, which he described as both hilarious and terrifying. Cameraman Bob enters the Beast's living quarters, where the only sober man on base, Steve, is keeping watch.
You don't want to piss on him?
Bob, what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Why do I keep picking this segment
You question him for not wanting it?
with piss stuff? It doesn't take long before Steve is cajoled into messing with the Beast by Bob.
Jump of the week.
They wind up sounding like us yelling at Daisy Edgar Jones at the end of Twisters.
Kiss him!
The next morning, the group is roused from their hangovers by alarm bells. Seems like the Beast got loose last night and killed one of their own, a guy named Terry.
Terry's fucking dead.
Greg frantically calls for a head count of everyone outside, and a severed head is tossed out in response. I think this guy's name is Reed or something. It freaks out one guy so much, he goes full ATF and just starts blasting, killing one guy with friendly fire. He only stops shooting when he's put down with 2 bullets to the head. Steve is revealed to have survived and tries to come outside, which isn't the best idea.
You're covered in vampire blood!
He immediately explodes, and the blast knocks over these 2 guys on the left. Since we never see them again, I'm just gonna go ahead and count them as dead. Why not? Terror has a ton of stunts and pyrotechnics, which Prowse called a childhood dream come true. They did have to deal with cold weather though, since they shot in February in Burlington, an hour outside of Toronto. Sometimes their fake blood would literally freeze in the tubes.
Oh shit.
Greg leads the surviving militia members on a vampire slaying expedition. He seemingly clears the attic, but when this guy Tom tries to go up, a fully transformed beast tears his face off. The remaining trio gives chase, but another dude named Jimmy is killed when the beast repeatedly bashes his head into the ground. Bob freaks out and starts firing, accidentally hitting Greg in the process.
My leg!
We get a close-up look at the vampire's looking final form as he knocks the camera to the ground. This is an excellent practical creature effect that I almost forgot about. Ratma just casts such a large shadow over the rest of this movie. After his success with Ratma, Patrick McGee was hired to make the Beast. He had even less time for this one. Only 11 days to do everything from punching in the hair to gooing up the mouth. He designed a vampire maw the Superformer controlled by sticking their hands inside and waving them around.
And
look right there.
Nice. And close. And
why in the middle of it they look like a, you know,
a big open. There you go. Nice.
The Beast helps himself to a big bite of bomb. It leaves him looking like Two-Face. Then the vampire proceeds to drag the injured Greg into his own holding cell. As the Hair Commandant proclaims Christ is king, sunlight hits the Beast, igniting him and wiping out Greg and the whole compound in the process.
Really?
Alright, I gotta finish the wraparound.
I can't stop. Detroit was mentioned. I can't stop.
I know.
Chelsea.
Chelsea,
Come. Chelsea, for the love of God. Yep. Kwame. We return to the compound where Spivey's been getting eye treatment. Slater is tied up next to him. He's being held hostage by Petro and Nash, who reveal themselves as members of this cult that just really loves movie night, you know? They confront him over his alt-right connections and let him know how this tape is gonna end.
We are the final girls. You're our final kill.
I don't love the dialogue here. It's laid on a little thick.
We deal in contraband content, strictly VHS.
But I do love this kill, as Petra beats Slater's head with the camera until it's nothing but a bloody pulp. Ew. The movie ends as the two ladies talk about their latest tape.
What should we call it?
Oh, I know. You could call it Title Card. How many Ratmas did this bout of Ratmas Ratma? Let's find out and get to the Ratmas.
Whoa, Ratma. No, this is a tape.
Ratma.
Ratma.
Who's gonna be? Who's gonna be this time? Just sounds Josh.
All right, Josh. Thanks for watching the house while we're gone.
Yeah, anytime.
Yeah. Enjoy the new augmented reality headset I got. I actually downloaded a game you might enjoy. Just ask it to open Josh's present.
Sure, I'll try that out while I'm waiting for my Dragon Dash order. Now go, have fun.
Dragon Dash
order. Yeah, just gonna lay low a little bit after the Wonka kill count backlash.
Get that.
You know, I just thought that maybe if we tried something.
Your eyes there, man.
All right, call me if you need anything.
All right, see you, buddy. All right, let's see. Launch Josh's present.
Welcome to Kill Counter.
Cool, a game that's also my job. Great gift, James.
Ready, set, count.
Wait, how do I... Huh?
Oh, shit.
What the hell? So I just point and... What? Oh, I can do this.
Oh, and my food's here. Nice. I love this song.
You know what? You accidentally killed the delivery guy.
4. Counting makes me feel good.
Yeah, I've got a Dragon Dash order for a Josh L.
That's me.
Oh! Oh shit! I wasn't ready for that. Oh shit, that was funny.
We counted 53 kills in VHS 94. The victims consisted of 43 men, 9 women, and 1 unknown head in a bucket, giving us a more than 4-to-1 ratio of dead dudes. That body count puts 94 just ahead of its predecessor, but VHS 2 is still the reigning champ of the series. The kills per segment broke down like this, with the subject responsible for just over half of them. Timo reigns supremo. With a runtime of 103 minutes, VHS 94 had a kill on average every 1.94 minutes. And with 5 segments, including the wraparound, the movie had an average of 10.6 kills per segment. We'll give the Golden Chainsaw for coolest kill to the news anchor.
Yeah,
it's such an unexpected and graphic way to end the first segment, and you gotta love all that spurting goopy goodness. There's a reason this was up for best kill at the first ever Dead Meat Horror Awards. Dome Machete for lamest kill will go to those 2 militia members killed in the explosion, since I'm not even sure they died? Like, where the heck did those guys go?
And that's it. VHS 94 was released in 2021 and was Shudder's highest viewed movie premiere ever.
Until it was surpassed the following year by its sequel, VHS 99.
We'll look at that next week after a Sunday special, but until then, I'm James A. Janice.
I'm Chelsea Rebecca.
And I'm a man whose wrestling coach refused to learn his name and called him Zucchini Garage Sale instead.
You want to wrestle sometime, Zucchini? Oh, and this has been the Kill Count.
Come here.
On the next Kill Count.
What is it that you wish for? Is it a date with your best friend?
How about dinner and a movie?
How about hot dogs and a ball game?
Is it to meet your favorite actor?
Irreplaceable. One of a kind.
Perhaps it's for an underrated horror movie to finally be on the kill count.
As you wish.
Watch as an unsuspecting mortal basketball coach accidentally unleashes an ancient evil.
Do you have any idea how crazy that sounds?
The Jinn have the power to grant your wishes, but be warned, you've never had a friend like me.
Forget Barbara Eden, forget Robin Williams.
Be careful what you wish for, or even what you want for.
Oh,
You
shit.
know that blank?
I'd love to know.
Because I'll count that as a wish. You don't even have to say the words, really. I'll help you get there. You basically just have to agree with me offhandedly.
Am I to understand this is not something you wish to see?
This
Oh, this
week,
guy
grant
again.
yourself the greatest wish.
Oh!
A special effects-filled Wishmaster.
No more wishes, please.
Then on Sunday, explore a whole new world on the kill count. Only on Dead Meat.
Alright, might let me try.
My patience.
Might find a way to include this in the next poll week,
Can
man.
be watched on the pictured streaming platforms. Demi always recommends you watch the movie for yourself before its kill count. It's the only way to have your own properly informed opinion. Kill counts are never meant to replace the experience of watching a film.
Hey, thanks a lot for watching this Kill Count for
Alright,
VHS.
cool. There you have it, though. VHS 94. Definitely some crazy kills as well, too. I just realized I never did the loser poll because it's still tight. I will put that up. Literally, it will be up eventually if you're watching it. So other than that, let me get the where's it at? Let's see, they changed since then yet or no? Still titled, so it's gonna be a four kill counts be in the loser poll. Other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe on our YouTube channel. It's your boy T-Bird signing off. One love.